Welcome back. Anne Miles thought she was helping police catch a scammer who'd hacked into her bank account. Instead, she lost her life savings in a sophisticated con.
Don't tell your son, don't tell your daughter, don't tell anybody.
Scammers understand human psychology. They know which buttons to push.
Definitely seem legitimate, very legitimate.
Hello?
I'm calling from the St George Fraud Squad.
It started with a phone call.
Did you purchase something from Amazon at 4:30 this morning?
Anne Miles hadn't made the purchase from her St George account and was told she needed to act quickly.
I asked him, how did I know he was actually from St George? And he said,
I'll give you my phone number. You can call back.
so I rang it and the girl said to me, St George Bank Fraud Section, can I help you?
So it all seemed very believable.
It was so believable. It was how a business would operate.
Anne had no idea she was about to fall prey to an elaborate scam. The caller told her they needed her to play a role in an AFP operation to catch a network of scam artists.
And I thought, wow, to be able to help the AFP get somebody that's doing this and to bust up a scamming ring would be fantastic. And he said, so this is highly confidential. He said, you've had a very confidential job for many years. And he said, because I know where you've worked at the school. And I was a bit taken back and I thought, oh, it has to be St George because they'd only know where we worked.
Anne spent 40 years running the office at Toongabbie Public School, often dealing with confidential financial issues and transactions. Friends and family say she's incredibly financially savvy.
He said, what we want you to do is go to this St George Bank and draw out $9,000.
$9,000.
$9,000.
Anne was then told to drive to a different bank in the area and deposit the money into a specific account. Over the next fortnight, the same man would call and tell Anne which St George branch to go to and where to deposit the money. Perhaps the most disturbing thing about it was when the scammer appeared to have eyes on her at all times.
He said, why did you go and buy some bread?
But you hadn't told him that you were in Coles.
No,
So
he knew it. I used cash, I didn't use a card.
Eventually, Anne became suspicious, looked up St George's number on the internet and called them.
And he said to me, I'm sorry, your accounts have been scammed.
Wow.
And I went to water, I just lost it then.
How much money did you hand over in the end, Anne?
$36,000.
That was Anne and husband John's entire savings.
I worked darn hard for that money. A lot of overtime involved, a lot of time I spent away from the family. When Anne found out, she was in tears over it. And of course, that doesn't make me feel any better.
Anne and John went to the police. The scammer kept calling.
That night he rang 7 times on the home phone and he rang 4 times on my mobile and we just wouldn't answer it.
There's someone trying to hack into your account.
69-year-old Carmel Papalia received a similar call from a scammer this week who said he was from the NAB fraud team. She was sceptical and asked for proof.
And the next thing, I get a code saying NAB and a number. And he said, read it out to me. So I thought, oh, it's really the bank.
They took what was left of her and her husband's weekly pension.
And before my eyes, there went the $622.
In the last couple of years, we've frequently seen scammers pretend to be from the big banks. As in Anne's case, they often ask you to come to a branch in person to withdraw cash. And that's because it bypasses the security controls the bank has in place for online transactions.
If you turn up to the bank and say, I want $5,000 of my own money, and you have the right documents and identity verification mechanisms with you, they're going to give it to you. I mean, it's your money after all.
Nick Savides is the Chief Technology Officer for APAC at Forcepoint. He says it's highly likely that the scammers obtained Anne's details via mail theft and used them against her.
And they create a sense of urgency and make you question yourself so that you don't question them.
So what can you do to protect yourself? Turn on two-factor authentication, sign up for your bank's SMS alerts, and make sure your password is complex and unique. And if you receive a phone call from your bank and you want to confirm it's them,
Hello.
Call them on the number on the back of your card. Call them on the number on their website. Don't call them from the details that are in that communication, because the scammer controls those.
and remember,
No bank is going to call you and ask you to be part of a police sting. They're not going to ask you to put your own money at stake, your own safety at stake, and to help them try and catch a criminal.
Well, definitely like to see them caught with long jail sentences. My expression for that is their hides nail on the wall.
Just hang up on them.
St George Bank's fraud team says you should always ask for the caller's full name, company and phone number, and again, only call back on the official number listed on the bank's website, never on a number the caller provides.